we're here for the Campfire conversations today. And just to introduce anyone who maybe doesn't know what this format is yet, the Campfire conversations are our format from our studio off the beaten track, where we talk to other devs about their games, try their games for a little bit, and try to find out a bit more about its development. I'm Ines. I'm the marketing and social media person at Off the Beaten Track. And with me today is Armaan from Frostbite Interactive. And we'll talk about unwording today.
Small corrections, Frostwood.
Frostwood, what did I say? Frostbite. I said Frostbite. Wow, that's very wrong. Frostwood. Frostwood is a way better name. I actually like it a lot more. So
Nice. Happy to hear that.
Introduce yourself to us and tell us a bit about your studio.
So I'm Armaan from Frostwood Interactive and based in Mumbai, India. And I mostly make narrative-driven games, sort of emotional, story-based stuff. It's mostly just me. I work mostly alone, but sometimes, I hire freelancers or something to help me with a few parts of the game. Um, and I've made three games so far: Rainswept, Forgotten Fields, and the latest one, which will be played today, is Unwording. And I'm working on my fourth one, which is not announced yet. Yeah.
Very excited about Unwording. I think the first time I encountered you was during Ludonarracon 21, I think, when Forgotten Fields, I think, was part of that. And I worked there as a volunteer for the streams, for like stream moderation. And then afterwards, we got keys for all the games. So that's why I got Forgotten Fields. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hope you liked it.
It entered my backlog because I got like 20 keys, in 1 minute.
Imagine.
And that's sadly like, I don't know where to start. But Yannick writes in chat, Forgotten Fields. So Yannick seems to know it. Also, a little fun fact, Armaan is currently at the Spell Kollektivet in Sweden, which is, or do you want to tell us a little bit about it? Because maybe some people don't know it, and I think it's quite a cool thing for game devs.
Yes. So it's like a house with game devs. So about 40 game devs live and work together on our own projects. So you can stay for any amount of time, like if you want for a day or a week, or I'm staying for 3 months, and some people have been here for years. So yeah, you just work when you want to, and then there are activities which all the devs do together, and different kind of activities you can organize. You eat together. It's someone described it as Hogwarts for game developers, and I was like, yeah, that sounds interesting.
Do you have houses? Are you sorted into like?
Nope.
No. Is it like narrative game devs, roguelike game devs, platformer game devs? Very fun.
Yeah, that's a fun idea. Should be done.
Sasha writes in chat, woohoo, Spell Kollektivet. As I said, he was there, and okay. But today we're here to talk about and try unwording. So, can you give us a little pitch for the game, or just tell us a bit more about what it's about, who we play as, and what the gameplay will like? Just how you'd explain it to people who don't know anything about the game yet.
So, it's at its core, it's a narrative-based game, and it's based around word puzzles. So the concept is about negative thoughts and sort of trying to rephrase those thoughts and see the world differently, and how doing that affects how rephrasing your thoughts affects your perception of the world. So, like, without giving too much away, the art style and um, the sort of the camera of the game, the it all changes, and it sort of becomes more detailed as the game goes on, and as you sort of get better at dealing with your thoughts and the messages they give you. And I'm just a little like, how much should I tell? And because if I tell too much, it gives away most of the game. So, but yeah, it's in short, it's like kind of playing with your thoughts and turning them into word puzzles.
I'm excited to see how that works out because word puzzle games always make me nervous because I'm not native English. But I'm very happy that you're here and can help me if I fail in like the first 30 minutes somewhere.
I would have to say, like, because it's a journey from, you know, it starts pretty dark. And the thing is, it's in a 20 or 30-minute playthrough, you will only see that part of the game. So it's a little bit like, yeah, you have to keep in mind that it changes, but we're probably going to see just the starting part. So that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah. I mean, maybe someone here feels inspired to play the game afterwards to get to the better part. So we just stay in the dark, I guess. But yeah, so what caught me about the game is really, I mean, the first sentence of the description on Steam is that it's a short but powerful exploration of overcoming negative self talk, which I'm very excited about because I, like so many others out there, have definitely totally dealt with negative self talk and, well, telling myself that I'm a failure or that I hate myself. So I'm excited where the game leads us, and I can already imagine that it is something that would have helped me tremendously when I was in that phase. So
Yeah. I
thank
mean,
you
yeah,
for making games like that.
pretty relatable what you've said. And yeah, I hope that the game kind of kickstarts that for whoever plays it. And it making it definitely helped me a lot. So it was just like a process of making the game and then just discovering like, oh, this is how it works. Okay. And yeah, once that kind of you start figuring it out, it just really helps. So I hope playing the game can do that.
It's also, I mean, really cool that for you making the game helped you. So
Yeah.
that can also, I mean, playing a game like that can help, but also if you feel like you need to express your negative thoughts and like writing is not the right thing for
Yeah.
you, maybe making games can be a way of that.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't expect that. I was just sort of making something about my experience and it kind of looped back and started helping me. And I was like, that's nice.
That's that could be the cool thing about being a solo developer, though, right? That you can change or take what you noticed during development of the game to make the game better or iterate on it, which is way harder the bigger your studio is, I guess, where you have
Yeah,
to have things more figured out from the start.
definitely. Yeah. Yeah, it's always a process of just whatever's in my mind. Like I have so maybe it's the luxury of, working on that and just taking my time with it. And it's like reflection. You just sit and like 2 years you work on a project and it's about one topic and definitely you get a lot out of that.
Okay, I will start the game now, and let's just hope that everything works. Okay, there we go. Game is starting. Armaan, I can you can either watch it in the stream or I can stream it to you on Discord so that you can like live see what I do.
Yeah, I guess I could watch it on the stream. What do you suggest?
Um, Wait, I'll just stream it to you on Discord because then you have it without a time delay, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Like that. And it should be running. Yeah, there we go. And I guess we're right into the game, right? I make it a bit quieter. That's always the first thing I do in every game.
Okay. Regardless of if you're streaming.
To be honest, yeah. But also even more when I'm streaming because we also want to talk during it, so I'll make it a little more quiet than I would usually do it, just so we can keep talking. I hope like this is okay. Chat, let me know if it's like too quiet, too loud, or anything. Oh. Okay.
I think you might have to apply. Hit apply instead of back.
I did.
Okay.
In the end, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. New game, let's go.
There's a bit of a tutorial.
Oh, oopsie.
Okay,
Also, Yannick says, I don't know what it is, but I have to lower most games to 30% when starting. Everything is so loud nowadays. Yeah, that's the same for me. And I like it that some games put their audio by default to 50% instead of 100%, which I kind of like.
I'm the odd one. I just blast it to 100.
Really?
on all the music.
But I also very often play without a headset because I like having my ears free, and then I don't know. I don't want it to blast through the room and through the apartment. Okay, so I will take normal, but it's interesting to check out what the differences are. Correct blocks are immediately confirmed. Few hint
Mostly,
blocks.
yeah. Hint blocks, and there's a system in this puzzle where 2 words have to be correct for it to be shown that, okay, you got them in the right place. Easy is just like you place it in the right place and it's correct. And you can just switch in any time in the game. So
okay. I'll take normal because I got you here to help me anyways. Also, I played Wordle quite regularly. Maybe that helps. I know a lot of English words that have 5 letters. Okay. Welcome to Unwording. The word puzzles in Unwording reflect Tom's negative interpretation of everyday objects, tasks, and thoughts. Sentence here spells neutral thought, wake up, but that's not how Tom sees it. You must drag the blocks here and rearrange them to spell something negative, something that matches Tom's state of mind. Okay. Oh, I can rotate them. Okay.
Yeah.
Only confirmed when another block next to them is also in the correct slot. Wow, I can see myself fail already.
There's a lot of instructions in the beginning, so yeah, it's a bit confusing.
Okay.
But yeah, you've got half of the word already.
Okay. So I want to just look at all the parts of it. Okay. So this one definitely has to stay here because it's the only one that fits there, right? And that too. Ah, okay. I can see where we're going.
I'm not sure how much to give away. I'll just watch.
Yay, I got it. Oh, give up. Oh, I got give up. Am I to be happy or sad now? I don't know. He got up anyways.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have a choice, I guess.
Yeah, but he should be proud of himself. I mean, if give up is your first thought in the morning and you still get up, that's good. You did good. Aww. Uh-huh. Oh, that one's long. Okay. So, these ones somehow have to fit to the bottom here.
You can hold space to get an idea of what the word's about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It could be like no one cares, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Succeeding at negative thinking
Yeah,
is I don't know how I feel about this.
I mean, it's
Oops.
satisfying to get the right answer, but it's
Yes,
not a good answer.
absolutely. Did that have an A? Yes. No one
You
cares.
weren't lying about your Wordle skills.
Yay!
You can take the phone again. There's some
Mm-hmm.
another thing you can check in there.
Is that a dating app?
It's
Oh no, it's Instagram,
Yeah.
right? Kinda.
Yeah. I mean, it's knockoff kind of.
Mm-hmm. He's following Booty Guy. Okay.
Yeah.
And that one's the... So, designing these word puzzles, since you're not native English, right?
Yeah.
Was it hard? I mean, I really absolutely can't imagine doing English word puzzles when I'm not a native English speaker.
Yeah, but English is pretty much speak it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Think you missed the cutscene?
No, I actually I
You
saw
have
it on the
both screens. Okay.
I still saw it.
Yeah. It's
Oh, yes.
not much of an issue. Like, we speak both my mother language, which is Hindi, and English, so it's kind of 50-50.
Mm-hmm. Got really loud right now. Sasha writes, it's Pinkstagram. Because everything's pink in the game. And Yannick says, I might need to turn up Armaan a little bit. Yeah, give me a second. And I turn you a bit louder on Discord.
I don't see the chat.
You can't?
Yeah, I mean, it's empty.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for me.
Maybe can you reload it? Just maybe that helps.
Okay, it would be on Twitch, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Hardware Games is in chat. Hey there, and writes, this game is great, lovely art. and the main character is called Tom, right? Is that like a placeholder name because it's so simple, or was there someone specific that you thought of?
Yeah, it is a placeholder name, and I mean, coincidentally, I was watching Succession at the time. I don't know if you've seen it. So there's a character Tom, and he was like my favorite, and
I try to watch it every few months, and somehow it doesn't catch me, so I'll have to give up at some point.
Yeah.
Okay, this might be something like, Okay. I can't have? No. Okay, this one is only 2 letters, right? Maybe this is... Oh, okay. This block is can actually be... It's getting more confusing now. Why are you doing this? And this one too? No. That one though. Okay, Oh, I am poor maybe? Oh. Oh. Ah. There we go. I'm poor. I'm poor. And Headway Games writes, Armaan also made Rainswept, which is amazing. So we got a fan of you here.
Oh no, Headway Games. I know him. He's a good friend. Nathan. Hi, Nathan.
Hey, cool that you're here. Friend and a fan. Those are the best. 50 off meal for 2. Okay. Yeah, that's really not cool of you alone.
Yeah.
I guess it's I'm yeah, is it just I'm alone? Yeah.
I haven't used one hint so far. So.
There? No. I need maybe I'm wrong, but if it's I am, I have to find I have an M here. There it is. I am. Oops. Oh. Come there. I really wonder whether. So, I kind of know a lot of these feelings that the game transports to me at the moment. How this is for people who don't know that. Most people have self-doubts at some point in their life, I guess, but mysteriously, there might be some people who don't, and I really wonder how it feels for those people to play this game.
Yeah, I don't know if there is anyone that's, completely ever experienced this.
Yannick says, I think the different block shapes are a super good solution to keep the answer possibilities down. That I also think. So, for example, the smaller ones, you know where those will be placed, so the options aren't, unlimited. And Yannick also writes, Ines is turning out to be absolutely talented, as always. Thank you, Yannick. But it's also just a lot of our Wordle training that we did together.
It's really... Like, the length of the game really changes depending on these puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people take a lot of time, and, it's still satisfying for them when they finally figure it out. So that's...
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. It does feel satisfying. So yeah, if there weren't the different shapes, I think I would be a bit more hopeless.
Yeah. Also, familiarity with such thoughts. You're like, okay, I know what this thought is saying.
For example, the 50% off for 2. Yeah. But I'm alone. That's it. Whisper chatter. Oh, are they like talking about me? Man, he's weird. They're looking at... Yeah. Okay, this one's pretty long, though. Here he comes.
You could use the hint blocks for fun.
Mm-hmm.
Speed it up.
Okay.
No achievement related to not using the hints, so that's... there's no Steam achievement.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, some people I don't want to use it because, I might miss an achievement, but there's no achievement.
Okay, I'll just take this one in the... Oh, how do
In
I
the
do it?
square ones, not in the long ones. Yeah.
Ah, okay, just the square ones. Okay, okay. And I'll just do that one as well. Okay, so maybe I'm just checking them out. Okay, to see whether they turn to longer ones. So maybe this one will get me because it's so long.
Yeah, if you know what you're looking for, is just
Talking about me? Talking about me? Let's see whether I find a me. Yeah, there we go. Aha. There we go. About. What I like about these puzzles also is that you... So there's not just this one fleeting negative thought, and then your character goes on, but you actually spend time with it. You actually think about, oh, what could the negative thought be? So the impression is much stronger than if it's just presented to you as a thought that's like in the air for a second or something.
yeah. What sort of happened on its own while making this. Like once you have the solution, then the sort of message changes to whatever the solution is in the world. So I just realized, like, when you walk back to your whatever house or the street, it's like the world is spelling out your negative thought to you once you've said it. Just like it just sort of happened while making the game.
So also it just presents itself to you over and over when you walk along the street and you
Yeah.
think about it again and again. Yeah. And then they're actually just talking about how boring their work is or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Start work. Wah! Okay. I'm taking it for that. Let's do the starting one. And this one. And then I know that... Okay, but I don't know which one.
So it's one word. It's a single word.
Yannick maybe got it when Yannick writes procrastination.
Almost. This one's a bit tricky.
So it's not procrastination.
Half of it is. Half of it is correct.
Ah, so procrastinating or something.
Something like that.
Something like that. Okay.
Just let me know in case you want any help.
So the beginning is different, right? Because I didn't find an R and O.
No, the beginning is correct.
Oh, really? And then I just didn't look correctly.
Yeah, you can keep that. Yeah.
Ah, okay. So that would be that one, I guess. Oops. Ah, there we go.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but that's fine. Procrastinate.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yannick,
This
you're
one
so
would
good.
this one would confuse me even when I was testing it because the TI and the NA and I would just keep messing them up.
Long words. Yeah. Those are not covered by Wordle, you know.
So like pacing wise now game changes a bit. So like I'd said, you have one type of puzzle, so this was the last of these puzzles. It's a pretty short game, can be finished in an hour.
Oh really? Yeah, I was afraid beforehand that it would be so short that we could finish it like on stream, but no.
Yeah, I'm not that short. I guess 1.5 hours.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, he is like short moment in his day when he's like
Yeah, but
kind of having a good time.
I really like just how the color works here. That just letting light in and just having a bit of yellow that wasn't there before already gives you a better mood. Oh. Oh, is it a food delivery?
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, okay, either a friend is visiting or he's getting a package, or it's just a food delivery. This looks pretty cool. Aww.
Yeah, about the colors, the yellow sort of now starts coming into his life a bit more. That.
With that little bird. Yay, achievement! I survived day one.
You got the achievement, yeah.
Oh! Am I gonna be a bird dad now?
Kind of. We have a lot of divided opinion on this.
His face is great. Ooh, okay. Cool, this is cool. Oh no! He jumped right into it.
So.
Wow, okay.
This is the second phase.
Super cool. Yannick writes, what a great transition. Yeah. I mean, trying to stop bird poop as a transition scene. That's amazing. Oh, he's so cute.
A lot of people were upset by the birds pooping. I was like, it's funny.
Yeah, but also, it's the part of. I mean, I believe anyone has had a bird fly into their apartment and poop somewhere, right? I remember, like, 20 years ago, a bird sitting on my Barbie car in my room and pooping on it, actually.
Okay. Also just pooped on his phone, so no more. Yeah, that's it.
Wow. Okay, no more Pinkstagram. Ooh. They're golden. Golden eggs. Look at him looking at them just like wow.
Sell them.
A gift of nature. Oops. And he's following me around. Do we just leave? Ooh.
The bed sheet is dirty.
Ah, okay.
So it's the solution of the same puzzle, but it becomes a different word.
Hmm? Oh my god. We got all the dimensions now. Okay. Yeah, I'd say it's just clean up, right?
Yep. Probably add another difficulty level now. The hard level.
Okay. So I'm just trying to find them now, right? No, like pulling or something. Okay, there's an A-N. E-A-N? Yeah, clean. Up clean. Was that hard to do? I imagine it's hard to do.
Make?
Yeah, like, you know, assembling these pieces so that they rotate the right way.
Yeah. It was weird. It was like walking backwards kind of a thing.
Hmm. So basically, he kind of has a purpose, and he's getting a purpose, I guess.
Basically, yeah, just another way of looking at the same situations. So as you go through the day, it'll be the same puzzles you had solved, but they'll break apart and turn into different puzzles.
Okay, I'll do like one more, I think, and then I'll stop the game, and whoever wants to see more has to play for themselves. Okay. The bird tells me that I'm not poor, but instead... Oh, forwards, okay. Everything is... okay, I don't need it. It's I don't need it.
Yep. I mean, almost, but yeah.
Okay. There is... Oh. Why is it glowing? Am I not seeing something?
Oh,
there.
means you're close.
Yeah. There we have need. Oh. Can I get it?
You can press E. Tilt it.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Pull it down, yeah.
There. I don't. There's the N and T.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, tilt it. And to the right.
There we go. There we have don't. And then either it or that.
It's one. You already have any. It's the same any. Um,
Ah, okay.
yeah, yeah. Just a bit more to the right.
Ah, I don't need one. Okay.
I need don't one.
I need don't one. I mean, it's really fun to think about it like that. Like, you're always sad that you can't afford things, and then when you think about, but do I want them? Do I need them?
Exactly.
No,
Yeah.
actually not. Okay, okay. I'll start here. I'll stop here, but I'm very happy that we got to see how perspective changes in more than one way. That we got another perspective to walk through, and also on our views. Okay, I quit now, but
You
I'd
can
like to keep playing. Huh?
you can probably save. I mean, it does auto save, but you might
Oh yeah,
have to do this.
yeah. For safety reasons,
Yeah.
let's stop. And changing view. And the stream closed for you too. Yeah. So, two moments that totally stood out to me as relatable right now were also going to bed in the evening and the bed still said give up. Because for me, that would very often be something that I do when, I don't want to do the things I need to do anymore, or I don't have any energy, I'm just going to bed and would be giving up.
Yeah.
But then also that the bird coming in and pooping on things still gave him, something that he knew he had to do immediately. Like someone was, I mean, the bird was not relying on him in that moment, but just having that bird poop on there and knowing, okay, I need to clean it up now,
Yeah.
can sometimes help you going through your day. Like, I wouldn't advise people who have a hard time taking care of themselves to get a pet because it's better to be able to take care of you first. But I think it can still help if you have an animal that relies on
Yeah.
you to, go out daily, wake up at the right time, and so on.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, apparently, it's easier for people or more natural for people to care for like, maybe a pet or someone else. Like, we don't often think about ourselves that way.
mhm,
Many of us, we just treat ourselves harder, which we wouldn't treat someone else, like your friend or
mhm.
a pet or something, maybe. So, yeah, I mean, that is weird.
So if I can ask that, like, how much of this is I mean, it's definitely a personal project, of course, your one man studio, but how much of this is like from your own experience? You already said that developing this game really helped you a lot. But was it also like, did you do it for you? Like, was it something you felt you needed to do? Or did you know like other people struggling with that you wanted to help? Or what was your main motivation for the game?
Yeah, like all my game inspirations are just what's going through my head at that time. So, um, I was working on another game which I'm back to working on now, and I just felt sort of burnt out or just couldn't work. Um, I had just moved to a new flat and I was living alone, and I think that was like the first time I was really living alone. And when you do that, it's sort of like thoughts can get much louder. So
Mhm.
I was just not used to that. I was like, what is going on? And yeah, over the months, I realized that just living alone and being in company of my thoughts were like had too much power, and so um, yeah, around that time, I couldn't work on the previous game, so I was thinking about all of this stuff, and it just started overpowering. I was like, maybe I should pick a game about this because I don't have the energy to work on the bigger game, and I was doing all sorts of research about thoughts and stuff. So yeah, it all kind of fed into it. Um, like there was one moment where I was like um, driving around with a friend, and I was listening to a song, and I just saw a sort of a scene where it's like a 2D scene becomes sort of 3D. You know, the camera breaks and it goes around the character, and is like you can see the sun set and everything. And yeah, that scene sort of was the point where like, okay, that could be a game, and you know, goes from negative to maybe colorful or something like that. And then you're like, okay, let's take a break from the big game, make a short game, and we get
It's
some.
That's really cool though that you had that point where you realize, okay, I can make a game about this. Because those thoughts and being alone with them can be overwhelming and just lead to, well, yeah, procrastination or just stopping. But instead, you decided to create something else, which I find super cool. So props to you for that.
Yeah, it's just like sometimes the best thing is, you know, you get excited about something, and that's how you feel better about stuff.
Mhm.
And it's like a bad thing in game dev, like always you're tempted to work on something else. But I guess in that moment it was like whatever makes me happy. It's so yeah, I just switched to another project. It's always fun to, you know, you're working on something and it's getting boring and you're like, I wish I could work on
Yeah.
something else. So I
But
did that.
I'm happy for you that you're now back to the one that you were working on, right? And then
Yeah.
you pushed unwording in between, and now you're back to the
Yeah.
other one. Okay, that's cool.
And yeah, I was a bit doubtful because one I'm working on is a horror game, and like if I had done it back then, it's like peak of horror nowadays. I feel like, you know, horror games are doing very well. I feel like I may be falling a bit behind, but at the same time, making Unwording has improved this horror game a lot
Mhm.
because I got time to build the whole story and everything, but I'm in such a better place that um, I can work on a big project like this. At
Mhm.
the time, I didn't have any energy. So
I, th- I mean, I personally think that's more important. And if you can now be more proud of the other game when you finish it than you would have otherwise been, um, I think
definitely.
that's more important. Yeah. Um, Also, just want to into like doing this little message that Sasha left in chat. Unfortunately, I gotta go. It was fun watching you play this beautiful game. Armaan, I'm looking forward to play more games from you. Enjoy Spell Collective and give my best to James, Christopher, Lean, Brian, Matei, Johanna, Paulina, Jay, Mareike, and all those wonderful people I forgot or had not yet the opportunity to meet. So
Nice. Yeah, they're all here.
yeah,
I'll tell them.
he was a big fan of that. So yeah. um, but back to the game. So the little bird is kind of like the thing that kickstarts a change for Tom. Do you have a little yellow bird? Like, was it the game itself, or like, could you say there was one yellow bird for you that I don't know started your change of perspective?
I don't think I've ever thought about that. I
Hmm.
don't know if there was one moment or thing. It was sort of a slow realization for me. But yeah, like, or it could be anything. Like, it could be, you know, getting treatment or talking to a friend, or it could be whatever it brings that positive sort of start to the change.
Hmm.
Yeah, like I've said in a few places, like this game is just 3 days, but like it takes a lot longer. So it was over a few months.
Hmm.
A lot of it was just observing the mind and just learning. So in this game, in the main menu, and yeah, in the main menu, there's a resources tab. So
Hmm.
it opens a web page to links to all the things that help me. So and a bit more links to knowledge about cognitive distortions, which is basically what these are. So, you know, that's like a starting point for where people can learn more and find
I
some.
also saw that on your website or the website to yeah, the Frostwood Interactive website because you have that resources tab there as well, right?
Yeah.
I just posted in chat for anyone who's interested.
So, yeah, I mean, it is probably different for everyone, but those were like the few things that really everything did most of the heavy lifting.
I mean, it's always a very personal topic, but since I'm comfortable to share, I would just say what was my little yellow bird, and uh, I could say that it was actually something negative because there was a day when I had an absolute panic attack, and I was just in an internship, so it wasn't just a oh I'll just stay home, no one cares day, but oh no, I have to call in sick and I have to do something about this.
Yeah.
So it was really, really bad. But then that was also the point where I really noticed, okay, I'm not imagining things. It really is bad. And then I started therapy, which I was lucky and got a spot quite quickly. I know a lot of people do not have bad luck, but yeah. So for me, I had to really break down to finally notice that yeah, I do have a mental health issue that I have to deal with.
That makes a lot of sense. Like sometimes we don't take it seriously, so it has to be
Yes.
something to wake you up. Like you got to do something.
And until you really think about it, you sometimes don't notice that it's these unhealthy thoughts. Like
Yeah.
when there were days where I said to myself, "Well, I hate myself. I hate myself." I just kept repeating it. That was just my reality at that moment. It wasn't like I couldn't sit there and say, "Oh, Ines, you should really stop saying those things. That are totally wrong." But it was the reality for me. And now I'm at a point where I notice when I'm starting negative self-talk and where I notice, oh, that's not bad. Just you should stop this. You should get yourself a nice hot tea and do something for yourself. But yeah,
Yeah.
you have to
Noticing it
get to that
is,
point. Yeah.
yeah, that's the big thing. Like because you don't realize that there's anything bad happening. Like your thoughts are just a constant commentary.
Hmm.
You don't realize that that's where the issue is coming from. So realizing that is the main thing. And once, like a few times, you've sort of uh, dodged those thoughts or like knocked them away, or you engage them with them for a second and then you just push them away. It just gives you confidence for the second or third or fourth time. You're like, okay, I know how to deal with this. The
Hmm.
thought comes in, you're like, oh, this is whatever. Slide it. It's like I always think of what water off a duck's back. That's a thing, or maybe I don't know. That's a thing, right? I don't know. I just keep saying that to myself. Apparently, water doesn't stick. It just kind of slides off a duck. So I just think of it like that.
um, but that's also really cool about Unwording that I think the game feels very personal. So I could very much imagine if I had played that back in the time. It wouldn't have been, of course, it's not an instant, oh, now I get everything and it's better, but um, it makes you realize that you're not alone with this and that it's a real issue, this negative self talk, that it's not you just speaking the truth to yourself, but it's you talking the most negative version of the truth to
Yeah.
yourself. Yeah.
That is very important. Like knowing that you're not the only one who
Mhm.
has these. So, um, like, I want that if somebody plays this game, like, for me, when I was in that phase, it was like, oh, it's just me that thinks these thoughts and I have these issues. But if you know that you're not the only one, you feel better
Mhm.
just knowing that, just with that knowledge that, okay, I'm not some weird person that who has these issues and everyone's having a good time. It's like, okay, it's a normal thing, so it's fine.
And playing a video game that deals with it also, I think, feels very personal. So, for example, you might also find, let's say, a Reddit thread where people share their experiences. And that can help some people, but also you're kind of overwhelmed with like hundreds of people saying, oh, I know this, I know this, I know this. And playing a video game where it's just you alone with this one character that also has to deal with the issue feels very close,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and speaking of it, can you say, like, so you've made video games before, you've made Rainswept and Forgotten Fields. Why are video games your medium of choice? Like, why is it video games that you want to create, that you want to put your thoughts into? I mean,
Yeah,
you could write books or make movies or something, I guess.
yeah. Well, like for most game devs, I think it's a thing that we fell the most in love with. So, yeah, I just have really good memories as a kid, playing story-based games and probably some of the best times of my life. Like, nothing grand, just sitting and playing a game, and I was like, those were the days.
Hmm.
But yeah, that and movies got me into stories and had a childhood dream of making games, but at the time it was not possible because I was in India and there were no game companies. So I sort of discarded that dream. Instead, I was like, okay, I'll do movies, which is what you mentioned. So started getting into movies, but I did not enjoy the process of
Hmm.
being on set and working in films. And then indie games started becoming a thing, and you could solo devs and all these things. So Unity and Steam. So it became possible to return to games. So yeah, now I mean, I get to tell stories the way I would have done in films, and it was my dream anyways. So
Hmm. So it was the right timing for you, I guess.
yeah,
Like if you were born 10 years before, then it would have been harder, or you would have been
yeah,
more in the movie business, I guess. Hmm.
exactly.
It's really cool though that it was your childhood dream. Then you thought, oh, it's not possible. Then movies, and then it got possible, and then
Yeah,
you went back to it. That's really cool.
yeah, and yeah, I wouldn't. It's not like for some people, it's like like ideally it would be films, but I think games satisfy me a lot more
Hmm.
in the creative process. There's just so much more involved. It's a lot more fun for me.
I feel it totally. I mean, I guess everyone here does. Um, some things that like away from the topic of the game, but like on the production side, um, I'm also very interested. Like, so the game has these different art styles. It has like 2D, 2.5D, and 3D. And you said that this change of perspective was kind of your inspiration for the game, or you knew you wanted to do it. But how did you realize it? Like, did you start doing all the 2D things and then do all the 2.5D thing? Or, like, in which order did you do these? Or did you start with everything so you could have a word vertical slice that shows off everything of it?
Uh,
Like, did that make it harder for you to develop the game?
I started chronologically,
Mm-hmm.
so I did work on the 2D stuff first, and the whole 2D bit, the point you played, was a part of the demo. So that was made and polished and released first as a demo. I had help, like I said, I had an animator and artist um, who, who's who's done all the character animations and all those amazing
Mm-hmm.
cutscenes. So yeah, and then I proceeded on to 2.5D and 3D. It wasn't as difficult because I guess it's the same location and the scope is quite small. It was actually a lot of fun because I'd get bored of one, I could sort of jump into polishing
That's
something
what,
else,
yeah.
and then I'd be working in, let's say, monochromatic stuff, the 2.5D, and it's all purple, and then I'd just jump into the 3D stuff, and now I can play with sunlight and colors and whatever. So it
Mhm.
was fun.
It's cool though that you took it on as a challenge, so to say, because at first I wasn't aware that you were a one man studio. So I thought, oh, maybe it's a studio that has 2D artists and 3D artists, and they want to do something that incorporates everyone, and that's why they chose to do that way. But no, it's totally the other way around. You first knew you wanted to do that, and then yeah, had to find a way how to do it.
Yeah. I mean, definitely the scope of the game really helped,
Yeah.
especially 2.5D and 3D. It's pretty much the same
Mhm.
assets. You just sort of change the color and the camera perspective. But yeah, like I said, I can't do characters though, so I had help with that. And yeah, even the 3D characters were also not done by me.
Um, you have by now since 4 years ago, you've consistently brought out one game every 2 years, right? Is
Yeah,
that a
even I was noticing that. I was like, okay,
ah? Because I want to ask, is that a coincidence or is that like your plan? But you already said that you planned another project and then pushed in between. So
yeah, it's definitely a coincidence. I was making sort of a presentation and I saw the years and I was like, wait, that's one every 2 years. It's uh, yeah, coincidence.
do you have like specific learnings from Rainswept and Forgotten Fields that helped you doing unwording? Or I mean, you generally, of course, you learn something with every game you make, but do you have like specific learnings where you'd say, yeah, that really helped me, or that didn't work out in the other game, and this time I knew how to do it, something like that?
Yeah, it's a bit funny because I'm still learning more. Because Rainswept was the one that performed the best out of the three. So I feel like now from these three games, I've got like a proper idea of what I've been doing right and wrong.
Hmm.
But yeah, the main thing for unwording was I need to spend a lot more time polishing and on the stability of the game, optimizing and everything. Because I sort of rushed with Forgotten Fields and I didn't spend as much time. Just it looked fine to me, and then when it launched, there were a lot more bugs which
Hmm.
were not caught in testing. So yeah, with unwording, I was like, I'm just gonna spend a lot of time just going through it and making sure it's watertight. So that definitely helped. Um, it was a lot better optimized and much more stable.
That's yeah, I noticed that before too because bugs on day one, even if you're really quick to fix them, but they often lead to negative reviews on day one, and then when you're
Yeah,
on Steam, when you're mixed on day one, that's basically super, super
yeah,
bad. So,
yeah. That
yeah.
was kind of what killed Forgotten Fields in the
Yes.
beginning. It had a good number of wish lists, but the early reviews were about bugs and the stability and performance, and that just sort of broke the momentum on the first day. So,
Yeah. Day one reviews or day 1 to 7 reviews or something are harsh. Yeah.
and like I work with a really good QA person, but when it's being played by thousands of people, it's like a one person can't catch that.
Yeah. Yep. um, and then I have one more question that I always like to ask, like at the end. Was there something that you would have liked to do in the game, but you had to scrap because of, I don't know, definitely technical difficulties, or you just couldn't make it happen, or you noticed that it wouldn't fit the game or something? Like, was there something you would have loved to have in it, but couldn't or didn't?
Uh, I have bad memory. I can't remember because
I mean,
I'm so in my current project right now. I'm
I
like
mean,
trying to think.
if you say no, it's exactly the way I pictured it. That's great too.
Yeah, I'm sure there is something,
Mhm.
but I'm having a tough time taking myself 8 months or so back.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of something.
it's cool though. Makes me more excited about your next project that you're already like fully
Yeah,
committed into it.
yeah, and I'm excited because Forgotten Fields and Unwording, it was like making it was difficult. Like obviously, like I said, I was going through that stuff and I was making the game about it. And even Forgotten Fields was about a writer's block. So it was like it was fun, but not as fun as like say Rainswept. But now I'm back to having like enjoying every day with my current project. So I'm like, okay, couple of years of tough development with those two games, and now it's like maybe back to
Mhm.
how it was. So I don't know.
And then you're also at Spell Kollektivet, so now you're definitely having 3 good months of development.
Yeah, yeah,
And a group of playtesters around you when you need them. Maybe.
exactly. Yeah, there's a weekly GDC,
Hmm.
GDC. So you present your game and what you did over the past week. You get a lot of feedback. You get a lot of questions, and great way to keep improving your game.
Yeah. Okay. Definitely excited for your next game and for trailers or demos or anything that might come up sometime.
Hopefully soon.
And then it should release in like early 2025, right? If we go by your 2-year schedule.
I would be really happy with that. Yeah. I would love
Okay.
that.
We'll have you back then to talk about your next game.
Awesome.
Okay. So I think you've answered all the questions that I have noted down. And I thank you very much for being here. And for showing me Unwording, for being there so I felt better doing the puzzles because I know there's a fallback person that can help me.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't need any help at all, so
And
it was just
I mean, I definitely could very much relate to some of the scenes of the game. So thank you very much for making it. And I really hope that it already helped some people out there and continues to do so.
thank you for having me and thank you for playing the game.
And yeah, have fun at Spell Collectivate. And with that, we've reached the end of today's Campfire Conversation stream. A very little opportunity here for some self-marketing for us. We have our Discord link noted down, but I just saw that that's the one that doesn't work anymore. But under our stream, there's a button to our Discord server that should still work. So if you have any feedback regarding our streams, or you want to get in contact with us, or you want to tell us who else we should definitely invite for our streams, go ahead, join our Discord and connect with us there. And also, here's a little banner for our Narrative Outlook. That's our newsletter, because we have a monthly newsletter about narrative games. So it always has a focus on narrative game news, on events that are coming up that might be interesting for those who are into narrative games. And also have a monthly column about mostly impactful games, how games make a difference, and stuff like that. So if you're into narrative games and impactful games, go ahead and subscribe there and just try it. And with that, have a good week and see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.